Another YouTube live. Today we're going to talk about how your fear of being seen is costing you clients, income, impact, success, and maybe even love or truly the life that you want to have. I want to start this live with sharing a little story of mine and how it's going to be related to what I'm about to say. Okay, so if you're like, Jess, I don't really know the story that you're sharing. What do you mean? Okay, just listen. So, most of you people who've been in my world for a little while, you know that before I did what I do now, I was a health coach and specifically focused on food, nutrition, training, and menstrual cycle. Now, alongside my work as a health coach, I started incorporating a lot of inner work, right? A lot of healing, a lot of trauma work, because I started to realize how many people actually need this when it comes to health. Again, why, if you're listening to this, you're like, why, what does it has that little, I can't speak. What does it have to do with the fear of being seen? Listen, so I started incorporating all of this inner work because I myself once had an eating disorder. I had bulimia, to be specific. And not only was it bulimia, it was, I think, a combination of a lot of restriction, but also not being able to actually eat normally. And so thinking back, food was on my mind 24/7. And if I mean 24/7, I absolutely mean it. I would wake up thinking about food. I would go to bed thinking about food. I would question if what I was eating was right. I would overthink about the food choices. I would feel guilty about what I was eating. Food was on my mind 24/7, like 99% of the time. And it was 99% of the time in my mind. And because of that, I had no more energy left to build my dream life. Hi, Swati. Hello. I had no more energy left to build my dream life. I had no energy left to focus on my business. I had no energy left to focus on my relationships. I had literally no energy to do anything. And it made me realize that if I didn't heal my relationship with food, it would take over my life and I could not build the life that I actually truly wanted. Why I'm sharing this story with you is because I see a very similar story play out for people who have the fear of being seen. Because right now, even if you're just spending, let's say 50, 60, 70% of your time managing your anxiety about the fear of being seen, or you overthinking what to post, what to say, what kind of content to put out there. You're overthinking if you're gonna trigger people, if someone's gonna watch your content that you don't like, or maybe your mother's gonna watch your content and she's gonna judge you. If you are constantly thinking about what you're gonna do, how you're gonna do it, how you're gonna launch, what you're gonna say, how you're gonna say it, you have a fear of being seen. And then what happens is you barely have any energy left to grow. You barely have any energy left to start building your business or to build your business, to grow, to have more clients, to have more income, because most of your energy is going into overthinking, into managing your anxiety, just like how I had an eating disorder, and most of my energy was so focused on food thoughts. The same thing is playing out in your business. And this is why I see so many people not being able to actually have the impact and the growth that they desire in their business. They think, and you might be one of those, you might think, I need more strategy. I need a better content plan. I need to know exactly what I need to say, how I need to say it. That is not true, because you can have the best strategy in the world, but if with that strategy you still are anxious about actually being your true authentic self, you're scared that people are going to judge you, you're scared that you will, I don't know, be ridiculed on the internet, you have no energy left to grow. You can't spend time, or you don't have energy to be creative, to be innovative, to think outside of the box, to grow your income, or to have more impact, or to be seen by more people, right? And the thing is that this is happening on a nervous system level. If right now, even as I'm saying this, you're getting triggered, you're like, oh shit, maybe that is me. Maybe I actually spend a lot more time thinking it's strategy rather than actually looking at my energetic state. The truth is, and I shared this story before, and I'm gonna say it again. I had a coach, and she's wonderful. She's a business coach, and she's very much focused on strategy and some energetics too, right? Now, a lot of the things that she would say, she would keep saying to me and all the other clients, all her other clients, she would say, just be bold, just be authentic, just be yourself. This is what's going to sell a lot more people than by trying to follow the perfect strategy. And I agree. I agree. When you are yourself, when you show your true authentic voice with the world, people are going to be drawn to you because you're magnetic. And they will want to be in your energy because of how incredible you are. It's not going to matter if you have the perfect post. What's going to matter is if they're going to feel you. Okay? And if you want to be mean in the comments, I will remove you because I don't care about anyone who wants to be mean. I'm leaning into this realization, how it has been impacting my business. I honor these reminders, Jessica. Yes, absolutely. And the thing is, when it comes to business, and I remember, again, going back to this business coach, she would say these things, and I 1,000% agree with what she was saying. But at the same time, I didn't know how to apply that. When she would say to me, just be more authentic, just be bolder, just be yourself, just be your magnetic self, I'm like, okay, I know this now, but how do I apply this? There was like a part of me that didn't feel safe in being that, right? There was a part of me that didn't feel safe in fully being myself. And so what ended up happening is, instead of actually being myself, I tried to be like everyone else. And this is also what's going to happen when you have this deep, deep fear of being seen. You will look outside of yourself for the answer. You will look outside of yourself. That's why I say, like, strategy is not the number one thing to go, but you will be looking outside of yourself for what is everyone else doing, and I have to probably do it like them. You're giving your power away to other successful people because you think you have to do it like them, which is not true. When you become embodied, when you share your own truth, you do it like you and not like them. Swati, please post your question into the chat. I'm happy to answer that. So going back to the whole nervous system aspect, right? So when I was talking about the coach, I realized that I couldn't be my authentic self because my nervous system has learned it is not safe to be that. And what I mean with this is, and a lot of us, we have this within us. When you grow up as a child, you learn that certain things are right or wrong. And so a lot of these early experiences form your worldview and the beliefs that you have about yourself and the world. And so your nervous system learns, hey, when we stay within our zone of comfort, this is where we're safe, this is where it's not dangerous. Anything outside of that will put us into danger. So for example, if you grew up as a people pleaser, or you have been taught that when you people please, that's the only right way to go, guess what? Guess what? When you now, and as an adult, you want to break that pattern, your nervous system is going to be like, that is not safe to do. Because your nervous system is going to make you believe it is not safe to step out of your comfort zone. Because your nervous system likes what is familiar. Your nervous system does not care about your growth. Your nervous system does not care about you wanting 1 million followers, or you making $1 million, or you having 1 million clients. Your nervous system only cares about what it has seen, what it has experienced, and how these past experiences have formed your beliefs, your story about yourself and the world. And so it keeps you stuck in that. And so if you find yourself right now overthinking what to post, how to say it, how to be like, even again, I go live on YouTube quite a lot. And it's very interesting because I get followers that have been on my account for a while, and I also get very random people that post some weird shit on here. Okay. And it's so interesting because the first time I went live and this happened, I did not expect it. I didn't know it was similar to like TikTok, I feel like. And it felt like danger to my nervous system. It felt like absolute danger. I would see all these comments come in. And again, I just had a very weird, mean comment. And I just like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to like delete the person or like hide them from the channel. But I know that when this was happening in the past, my nervous system would be like, this is dangerous. Like, we are in absolute danger. Even though what is happening, I'm in my room. Like, I'm in my office. There's no actual physical danger. But your nervous system is going to think there is a tiger trying to catch you and unalive you right now. Your nervous system acts like that all of the time, right? Your nervous system is always scanning for what might be dangerous. And so it will always kick in that way. So you, on a conscious level, hey, I'm safe. I'm in my room. I'm only on my phone. Like, actually, there is no tiger trying to catch me. Like, your nervous system doesn't care because it's going to create the same response in your body as if a tiger was trying to catch you. And when you are in that response, which we have a couple, but let's say you are in fight or flight, which is a survival response. When you are in survival mode, I want to explain to you what is biologically happening. Think of it this way. A tiger is trying to catch you. Your body is not going to think, oh, let me grow my hair, let me digest my food, let me grow my nails. Your body is going to think, I need to survive. So it's going to turn down all the systems in your body that are helping you right now to do other stuff so that you can survive. With that being said, your body is turning off digestion, hair growth, menstrual cycle health, because it is only focused on, I need to survive right now. And so think of it this way. You're trying to build a business, but when you are in survival, the same thing is happening. Your body is thinking, I need to survive because there is a tiger trying to catch me right now, rather than being in a regulated state where you can be creative, when you can think of creative ideas, when you can innovate, when you can sell, when you can put yourself out there. Your body's going to be like, no, we got to survive. And so your energy is not in the energy of abundance and flow and excitement and magnetic. Your energy is in that of survival. And so, of course, when you are in that energy, you know how much like energy your body is burning because you are in that state. Then you can't sleep, you're exhausted, you can't think straight, maybe you have brain fog. How are you able to show up in your business when you are leading your life and your business from that state? Now, I also want to say it is not your fault. The state of your nervous system that you are in is either because of how you grew up and what you were taught as a child, the caregivers in your life, your parents in your life, what they have given you, or also, of course, later on, the experiences that you've had as an adult and the things that have dysregulated you, that have not made you feel safe. Because ultimately, again, your nervous system, all it cares about is how can I keep you safe? What is not safe? And so when you've had many experiences in your life that have made you believe you're not safe, you will keep repeating these patterns to keep you stuck. This is where, we're going to do a session in Embodied Business. If you don't know what Embodied Business is, it's my signature program for female entrepreneurs. In Embodied Business, I will do a session today on how to break patterns on a somatic level. A lot of people are trying to outthink themselves out of the fear of being seen. It doesn't work. The fear sits in the body. And we got to use our body if we want to break a pattern, and if you want to change your state of being, and if you want to also change your results. Your results in your life and your business are not only dependent on strategy and what you do, it also is dependent on the energy you do them with. And once that clicks, you will start to see a huge shift in your life. Because trust me when I say, there's been so many times in my business, I would do more than anyone else I would know in my life, and I was not seeing the results that I wanted. And it was not because I wasn't doing enough. It was because my energy was in a place of survival. I was still scared to be seen. I was still, my nervous system was completely going, oh my God, this is dangerous. And so I would end up not creating the results over and over and over again in my business, despite me working harder than everyone else that I knew in my life. Swati is asking, I'm a third year of graduation student. I come from economically weaker section. Someone from my family, like extended family, is helping with my education. I do not have any business. Swati, I don't know what the question is. I need a question. So if you can tell me what your question is, I'm happy to answer that question. So let me know. Let me know what your question is. Okay. So I'm just looking at my notes, you guys, because I want to make sure I'm saying everything that I want to say. Okay. Let's see. So I'm saying, but I want to come out of lack mindset. Today I read somewhere on an EFT tube account community post which said, fear of being seen is fear of being judged. And I completely agree with that. Of course, yes. I mean, think of it this way. The fear of being seen, it can have different fears connected to that. Some people might be scared that they're going to be judged if they put themselves out there. Some people might just be scared that they're going to be rejected, that they will not be loved, that their family is even going to no longer want to be part of the family. So for example, I've done this work with a client of mine. She's a wonderful artist. And one of the biggest pieces of work that we had to do is that fear of her family no longer belonging. Because think of it this way, if you have a very tight knit with your family, you all think the same, right? You all have the same beliefs or similar beliefs. It's like a group of people. When you spend time with the same people for a long time, you all start to think the same way. That's why you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And so the problem here is that let's say you want to start your business, you want to grow your business, you want to expand, you want to start a YouTube account, you want to share your truth with the world. Of course, you might be scared that if your family is going to see that, if someone else in your family is going to see that, they might think, who does she think she is? She's no longer having the same beliefs as our group has. And that can be a fear that your family might reject you on that level. And we have to really become aware of this, because a lot of those fears, what Swati's saying here, like the fear of being seen is the fear of being judged, like absolutely. But also a lot of these fears are happening on a subconscious level. That is why I am, oh my God, like if I can say this, there's a lot of people who are going to tell you, just do it, just put yourself out there. But the thing is, if you have a deep seated fear of anything, of judgment, of rejection, of lack of love, whatever that might be, and let's say that fear was developed at a very traumatic event that you haven't healed, and then you do the thing anyway, it can actually make the fear worse because it can re-traumatize you. So let's say I'm going to create a scenario that I have not experienced, but let's say you were 7 years old and in school they put you on stage to sing. And let's say you sang and you sang horribly and the whole crowd laughed at you. Now you are 36 and that was a very traumatic experience that you haven't healed. Let's say now you're 36 and you want to stand on stage and present your business. Your body can be re-traumatized. Let's say you go onto the stage And you also have to understand your nervous system is always going to stand for what's familiar. So let's say you're 36 years old. You want to stand on that stage again, not sing this time, but let's say you want to present your business. And you are on this stage trying to present your business. And then you see 3 people in the crowd smiling at you. But they actually have a friendly smile. But your nervous system doesn't take it on that way. Your nervous system always scans what it knows. So instead of seeing these 3 familiar faces, what you can see is, oh my God, these people are laughing at me because I'm standing on the stage. Bam, you're re-traumatized. Right there and then, you have been told, just do it anyway, just overcome that fear. No, you have just in that moment been re-traumatized. That's why when you have the fear of being seen, we have to heal it on a much deeper body-based and somatic level. A lot of people are trying to heal it from the mind. We got to drop into the body and we got to reprogram what is going on a much deeper level. Now, I'm not saying that you can't take action if you haven't healed. That is not what I'm saying. But if that fear has been a big traumatic event and that fear has been developed because of that big traumatic event, you might want to consider doing the deeper work, right? So let's see what Swati's saying. Even though I want to earn money online, at least want money in my life, but at the same time, fear comes up if I will have more money, then people will going to ask me how much and where are you getting. At the same time, when you're trying to do something of your own. So Swati, definitely feel free to ask me a question because I'm not sure what the question is. I know you're sharing your situation with me, which is good. But it would help me if you have a specific question to ask, because that is not something I'm not sure how I can answer this question. Okay. And so just looking at my notes, you guys, the thing is, when we have this fear of being seen, we got to heal it on a deep somatic nervous system level, right? What happens if you're not being seen? What happens if you're not being seen? Well, people don't know you exist, so they can't buy from you, which is also limiting your income. When you shrink yourself, your income is going to shrink. And this is not coming from you have to show up 24/7. It is your energy. It is your energy. When you show up and people are drawn to you or magnetic, people will want to stay in your world and will want to buy from you, right? And of course, right now, I want you to do a little audit on yourself and ask yourself, where am I currently using my energy? How am I currently using my energy? Do I use it on building my business, on growing, on expanding? Or do I actually spend a lot of time managing my anxiety around the fear of being seen, around taking action, around being scared to be judged? Right? Where are you using your energy? Now, if this is something and you're like, I really need to heal my fear of being seen, because now, as Jess is speaking, I am recognizing how it's stopping me. We will be doing exactly this type of healing in my program, Embodied Icon. This is what the program is about. Now, the program is a 2-day retreat. So it's not a long-form program. In 2 days, you will heal the fear of being seen. And it's going to be an online retreat. So there's a couple of hours on this Friday, and a couple of hours on Saturday. If you can't join live, you will be able to access these recordings, of course, and you can do that at your own pace. It's completely up to you how you want to join. But in these 2 days, we will rewire your patterns. We will unblock these blocks that you're having. We will go deeper into the somatic practices, into the subconscious beliefs to really do this deep rewiring. And we will also do some trauma healing because, again, as I was saying, a lot of the fear of being seen is actually on a much deeper level and can be caused by trauma that you haven't healed. You haven't closed that loop. So if you want to join Embodied Icon right now, if you join today, the price is $222. It's increasing to $333 tomorrow. And I also have a bundle with my incredible program, Dream Life from Bed, where the price today is $333 and it's going to increase to $444 tomorrow. I also will be giving, until tomorrow if you join, I will be giving a special iconic visibility audit. So I will look at your Instagram, at your YouTube, at your TikTok, wherever your social media is, and I will tell you exactly what is holding you back. I will be able to audit your content and tell you how to become more magnetic, but only if you join until tomorrow. So it's going to be an incredible opportunity for you to join Embodied Icon. The price is truly like out of this world. For what you get, it's out of this world. Trust me. Like the work that you're going to receive, the transformation that you're going to receive in these 2 days is going to be absolutely life-changing. And if you've been thinking of working with me for a while, because I know a lot of you have, this is the right time to do that. If later on you want to join another program, you will be able to use what you paid for Embodied Icon as a credit for any program that you want to join. Okay, so just want to make that clear. If you do have any questions about Embodied Icon, about my program Embodied Business, feel free to let me know. I'm happy to answer them. You can message me on Instagram. It's I am Jessica Carvat or jessica.carvat. I have 2 Instagram accounts. You can send me an email, which is info@jessicacarvat.com. You can these 2 ways are the best ways to reach me. So do that way. I also have a private Telegram group where I share more trainings with you guys that you can also join. It's a wonderful place to be. I'm happy to post it after I put up the live. I'm going to put it in the description. And yeah, what else? If you want to join Embodied Icon, of course, the link is also going to be down below. Okay. With that being said, I hope I was able to give you the idea of how the fear of being seen works in your body, visibility, and also, again, auditing yourself a little bit and asking yourself, where am I using most of my energy? What am I using most of my energy for? Is it really helping me grow my business, or am I actually spending way more time on overthinking and doing all these other things rather than actually growing my business? Okay, with that being said, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and until the next time, and seeing you